Hi, good night, everybody. Welcome to Feminine Touch with Fascinating Womanhood Vintage with Massaro. And I'm Massaro. So welcome tonight. It's such a privilege to have those of you who would be on live with me tonight as I do my live presentation. And tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about, do women have leadership role in the home? Do women have leadership roles in the home? Well, many may ask, what is women's role in the home? Number one, simple answer is number one, to be a wife first to your husband, then be a mother to your children, and then a servant to the world, right? Whatever business, career, whatever you're doing out there to benefit or influence or add value to people, that comes last. It's basically secondary. Our families, our husband and children are first. Then we can think about what we can do out there for the world. So in the home, it's very vital as women that we know, as wives, as women, as mothers, we need to know our role in the home, what we should do in the home, right? You may also ask, do women have any leadership roles in the home? Yes, we do. The man has his leadership role in the home as he is the leader of the whole house. And so his role as a husband, as a man, as a father in the home makes him the overall leader of the home. Right? So as we all know, every home does not always have a male presence. Before I got married, I was a single mother, and I had to take care of my daughter by myself. And so, hi Anetta, good night, how are you? It's so funny, I was just on your live video and now you're on mine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, so it's so amazing. So as I was saying before, we do have a role in the home as women, as wives, as mothers, right? We do have a role in the home. And so we have that leadership role to, we're going to talk about that tonight. Okay, I don't want to go too fast. So we know that there's not always a male presence in the home, right? And we all know that some homes have absentee fathers. Some is where the father may have died. She lost her husband and she's taking care of the children by herself. There are different circumstances why a woman is left taking care of her children by herself. And there she has to take prominence. Right? She would have to take up the full responsibility of raising and providing for her children by herself. And this is where her leadership role comes in. Okay? And so you may ask, what about homes where both parents are present? The husband and father of this home takes on the leadership, as I said before, right? And he's responsible for providing for his family and making sure that his children is going the right direction, right? And so the wife and mother works along in agreement with her husband and the father of their children, right, to get the job done. Anything that it's important decisions to be made in that family. He has the leadership roles. He works and he pays the bills, whatever. Sometimes you find The mothers are also working. Wives are also working in the home, and that's okay to be doing that. Some mothers are home taking care of the children, and some mothers are also working in the home and out of the home, right? They may have a business or they may have a profession where they go out and work for an employer. And I'll tell you something, it's not every home where the man can you know, where sometimes the strain is on him and he needs his wife to help him by going out to work, right? And nothing is wrong with that. Our place is where, as wives, to take care of our families, right? The man's role is to take care of us by bringing in the bread, as being the breadwinner, as they say, as we know, right? So the wife and mother works along, as I said, in agreement with him, right? With her husband. Her role is to exhibit or to be a feminine power in her home. Be an example to her daughters and sons. She models behaviors and principles of feminine qualities, right? Feminine qualities for her daughters to see. And so that they can carry on those same principles into their own lives and marriages, right? So the way she treats her husband, the way I treat my husband, the way I behave, the way I talk to my husband, the way I love him, the way I respect him, my daughter gets to see that. My child gets to see this. The way if I disrespect my husband, if I speak to him or about him in a negative and disrespectful manner in front of my daughter, she gets to see that as well. My body language towards my husband, she gets to see that. And so in every home, this is what goes on. So we as mothers have to be so careful what we say and do to and with our husbands in front of our kids, because I mean, especially small kids, they soak up information like crazy, and they're gonna learn whether we like it or not. They're gonna take it. They're gonna take in everything they see inside of them, and so we gotta be careful what we model, so they can, you know, carry on these same principles, feminine, loving, caring principles into their own lives and marriages when it comes to their husbands and even their own sons. Okay, so the way she treats her husband and son, right? Son, with respect and admiration, will allow her son to know what to expect from his own wife. It's very, very important that you treat your son with the same admiration and respect as your husband. It's a different love, of course. You don't love your son like you love your husband. It's completely different love. But at the same time, the same admiration. You see your son is good at something, you tell him, oh, honey, you know, you're so good at basketball. You're so good at math, or whatever the case might be, whatever you admire about him. Oh, I saw you took out your girlfriend, and you opened the door for her, and that's so amazing. It tells me that you're learning, right? There are different things that we admire about our children. I love telling my daughter and admiring her. She's not a male, but at the same time, I'm teaching her how she should be treated, right? So the same for your sons. Model for your sons to see that they're gonna know when they get married or when they're choosing a wife, they know exactly what kind of woman to choose, right? And this is leadership, a mother's leadership in the home. Allow your children to see the respect and admiration and honor that you give to your husband, right? And being a leader to your children. I'll give you an example. Now, for the beginning of the year, I wanted to show my husband the appreciation and love. Just admire him for the way he's been a father and a husband to me and our daughter. And I wanted to give him something special for the new year. And since last year, I wanted to do it, and I didn't. And I spoke to my daughter about it. I was like, oh, we're going to make daddy something special for the new year. And he was in Syracuse, and we planned it all. We went and we bought a frame, and we got a nice little certificate from Microsoft Word, and we just, you know, made the words look very pretty and very elegant, and say you're the, you know, to the best father, to the best husband and father in the world. We called him the best husband and the world's best father, husband and father, because you got to be a husband first and then a father. You got to be a wife first and then a mother, right? So, and then he came home and we presented the gift to him, and his eyes were so bright with love and appreciation for the fact that we've seen and admired and appreciate his love for us and all he's doing for us. He works very hard. I guess I have a business, but my husband is really the breadwinner of our home, right? He's the one who provides. He's the one who goes, he has a company, and he has to make sure that he feeds his employees and as well his family. Okay, and it just the admiration of the way he is with us made me want to do that. And so it was such an honor and pleasure to see his eyes when he saw that. So if a mother cannot give these examples to her children, then they will do exactly as they see her do, unless they learn differently from someone else, which is mostly the case in this modern world. And I'll tell you something. We got to be careful about our sons and daughters, what kind of influence they're having out there when it comes to their roles, right? Being feminine, being masculine, being doing the right things, making the right decisions, and all of that, right? So what I'm saying here is, for our young ladies or young women, they go out in the world, and you hear them, they're hearing a lot about, oh, women in power, women empowerment. Women empowerment is not being masculine. It's actually being in your feminine self, exhibiting feminine powers. And I'm telling you this, my friends, ladies, the strength inside of you is not the masculine strength. Is your feminine attributes, your voice, your poise, the way you know, your childlikeness, the love in your heart that just comes out naturally, the way you speak with honor and respect to a man, right? Whether it's your husband or your father or your brothers, your uncles, you know, friends, male acquaintances, other family members, the way you speak with feminine pride and honor for yourself. And I'll tell you this again, feminine power is not something that you just pick up along the way. It's inside of you. It's inside of you. It lives in there. So even if you start behaving in this strong masculine way to protect yourself, you have that feminine inside of you, and you could shell off all of that masculine way and allow your feminine radiance to just illuminate. It's natural. And there's some principles in Fascinating Womanhood Vintage that really helps all women, especially women who really don't know what it's like to how to treat a man, or how to be the ideal woman, or the intimacy in their marriage. And I'm not just talking about sexual intimacy. I'm talking about the respect and honor and admiration and all of that, all those beautiful things, small things, just small, simple things that we miss as women. to our men, right? So ladies, I'm doing this because I believe that women of today, we are the gatekeepers. We're the key in our homes. Without us, our husband would not, they would not be able to function. So when we behave in a certain way where we are not functioning, our home, we just bring down our homes with our own hands. And it said this in the scriptures, that we really have the key to everything in our home. We have the key to our husband's heart. We have the key to our children's hearts. We have the key to this whole world, because it all starts at home. It all starts in the home, then in your community, then into the outer world. And when we open our hearts to being our authentic self as women, wow, it's so amazing. It's amazing, right? So you have a wonderful and much needed role to play in your sons and daughters' lives. They're looking at every move you make, and they'll model behaviors after you. Don't think they're not looking, because I'll tell you something. If you one day step up, and especially if you see your kids doing something wrong, and you try to rebuke them, and you've been modeling a completely different behavior than you want your kids to model, they're going to show you up. They're going to say, well, I saw you did that. That's why I thought it was right for me to do. I thought it was okay for me to do. So this is why it's so important to model that behavior. Show your husband appreciation. Show him love and admiration. Respect him. Speak to him with respect. Even when he do the silliest things. Your emotions belong to you. And so you're in charge of the way you speak. You're in charge of the way you behave. Not your husband. He has a responsibility to his behaviors and his actions, and so do you. So you have the capacity and you have the responsibility for your own actions. So remember, ladies, you are the key that unlocks every heart in your home, the heart of your husband and your children. And you as a woman, wife and mother, live in your feminine power. Don't be afraid. It's not weakness. It's actually powerful. Because I'll tell you something, if your husband is doing something wrong and you get mad at him, it's gonna get worse. There's a certain way that you can be upset at your husband without even making things worse. Okay? You are the women in the home. You are the gatekeepers of this world. And so you will reap the seeds you have sown in your children and in your home. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me this evening. It was such a pleasure, such an honor to have you with me this evening. I will be back Friday night to talk on another topic. I just wanted to touch on this topic 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I will be on every night just talking for a couple minutes on, feminine, being feminine and feminine touch, having that feminine touch in your home and in the outer world. I want to say thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you. Annetta, thank you so much for joining me. Love you. And I will see you again. God bless you. Bye-bye.